everyone. Welcome to our first contractor meetup. My name is Maddie. I'm a customer operations manager at Gravity Sketch, and I'm thrilled to see so many of you here today. So this gathering marks an important milestone for our community of Gravity Sketch contractors and trainers, and I'm excited about the opportunities that we'll create together. At Gravity Sketch, our mission is to empower creators, and each of you play a crucial role in making that vision a reality. So whether you're teaching enterprise teams, students, freelance designers, your expertise and your dedication help shape the future of 3D collaboration. I also want to welcome our community who is joining us on YouTube Live. This is a great opportunity to not only learn about some of our newest material features, but also a chance to learn effective communication skills when it comes to Gravity Sketch. So today's session is designed to bring us closer as a network and provide tailored feedback to help refine your teaching skills. I'm excited to introduce Zofia, who is our internal automotive consultant, who will lead today's workshop. Zofia brings many years of Gravity Sketch experience and HI workflows to the table. She is a longtime teacher and has a great creator and social media following as well. And I know you'll gain really valuable insights from her. So before we dive into the workshop, I want to share a few exciting updates about Gravity Sketch that you'll hear and see today. So first and foremost, we released our 6.4 version last week. So our latest product release, version 6.4, includes enhanced screen experience, improved materials, functionality, and new tools to make your sessions even more interactive and immersive. These new features come from feedback that we've received from many of the trainers in this room, as well as from you, our community. So please continue to give us feedback so that we can make Gravity Sketch the most intuitive and impactful tool that it can be for both your teaching skills as well as your own projects. Second thing I'd like to mention is our Gravity Sketch certification. We are continuing to refine our Gravity Sketch certification program. The program is designed to recognize trainers, like many of the members who are in this room, who demonstrate exceptional mastery of the platform and teaching methodologies. But it also supports users of all levels and validates skill sets at various levels in the tool. Everyone. Welcome to our first contractor meetup. More opportunities. My name is Maddie. I'm a customer operations manager at Gravity Sketch. And I'm thrilled to see so many of you here today. And finally, a few quick reminders. This session is interactive, so please don't hesitate to ask questions or share your thoughts throughout for the trainers and leave comments for those who are listening online. This will also be recorded and broadcast on YouTube Live. So please avoid mentioning any partners by name just to respect any confidentiality agreements. So thank you all for being here and for the incredible work that you do every day. Let's make this session an inspiring and collaborative experience. Zofia, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Maddie. So hello, everybody. As Maddie mentioned, I'm Zofia. I'm car design consultant working for Gravity Sketch for more than 3 years, and I'm also teaching Gravity Sketch at university for around 5 or 6 years. So today we have a very exciting topic about more than exciting update. So the topic of today's session is how to enhance your presentations, how to work with the new material updates, how to create mesmerizing space, and how to also integrate AI to your workflow, or how to teach how to integrate this. So first we will walk through this presentation room, and then we will focus on the materials. I prepare a library for you. Just to quickly show you, here you have a few materials. These are all created inside Gravity Sketch. Some of these are where I used PNG or JPEGs. Most of the JPEGs are from Polyhaven, so you can also download JPEG from there. So I will show you how to recreate this. And also, since this is interactive, you can take this as a prefab. You can swatch all of these materials, so you will have it in your pocket when you are creating or teaching. Okay, so also what we see here, this template, This is when I teach customers. So I'm mostly teaching European car designers. So when we start to do presentation or even small exercises, I usually give them this template, this room, and I love it because it's modular. You can duplicate these stages, and you can have as many people as you want here, and you can stage the car in the center, and you can have also the sketch wall. So this is great. Yeah. So when we teach presentation like more holistically, they usually want to start with your student to do something sort of easier exercises. So it's something like this, when you just do the line work and then you do the filler with the volume, so you don't overwhelm them by very difficult geometry. My experience is if somebody already has a Blender background or alias SubD, they will get you the SubD flow and Gravity Sketch very easy. If it's somebody who only does Photoshop, I highly recommend you start with the black and white, like line work, and then you do the filler inside. This is also great because then you can take screenshots and take them either to Photoshop or to Viscom or to other AI tools. So the way how we usually teach it is that the screenshot button, it's yeah, you already know, it's located in the blue button, and then you go here, the camera, and then you take screenshot, and you for sure want to show them the advanced settings, navigate them to instant photo, and to switch on the render mode. If you will see it in your settings, when you switch off the render mode, you will see the red, green, and blue axis, and when you switch it on, will disappear, and also you can have the vertical look to help you to take on side view. Okay, and then of course for cars, you want to go around 60, like 50 in the focal length. Screenshot. We have a background here. It's not showing if I put a transparent background. And one good tip, if you put a transparent background, okay, so let's do it, and I will hide the template. Okay, so let's say we do the empty PNG style. What we figure out is that if you put this directly to Viscom, I will show you in a second, it will crop it and it will not render as good. So in this case, I would recommend you bring the room to full blackness, or like you put some neutral gray or white background, but you don't do it like this, okay? Because the Viscom will automatically crop everything and it will skew the corners of the cars, the overhangs. It will not look good. So it will get better result if you don't have transparent PNG. So that's one thing you can mention to when you're teaching this. Okay. Okay. So then we move to this next stage. This is like rough modeling / 3D sketching. You see, it's not as precise. Also, I was cutting corners here. When you get more to the topology, you want to sometimes optimize it. So for instance, of course here, they would ideally have one more cross section, but I reduced it to triangle here. Why? Because I wanted to keep this as low poly as I could. So I was saving these polygons for later. So I was just like doing this very quickly. And maybe this is not the best way to have a triangle here, but it saved the purpose. I was just like visualizing the volume, and in the future, I would slice it through here to add more edge loops. So this is kind of like shortcuts for your future self when I'm like optimizing for the poly count and the headset optimization. So this is also like when you have 10 or I don't know 7 cars in the room. Not everything can be super detailed, especially when you're running on standalone headset. So yeah. Ideally, you would like to avoid triangles in your topology, but sometimes hey, how would you know there is a triangle and not a square? Okay, and here also see the first first Viscom experiment. So this was the screenshot. You see it's on the white background. Very easy. Was not even the gloss material. This was more like a volume study. And this was the Viscom output, which I was kind of like happy about. Like it looked like a little strawberry. Okay. And then we will also get Viscom. You can get the 3D file here. And this is pretty cool because you don't need to go to Viscom on screen and download the Viscom GLB file. You can do it from Gravity Sketch inside in the VR. So I think this is the biggest advantage. Okay, if we look at it, of course, it's a bit of potato, but what I like about it and what I found automotive customers, they do like, is like, of course, no details, the volume, also the proportion from the top view, it's not correct, but the silhouette is pretty much there, okay? So they usually say something about like, okay, I can use it as a really rough under layer, and I can build quick sub B on top of that. So what's also cool with the new material update, I will show you in a sec, is that it keeps the texture and you can slightly adjust the texture. This is kind of fun. So when you grab the textured object, I will duplicate it for you so you can do it yourself. So when you grab it and you press the rainbow button, okay, and now we have this new color menu, okay? So you already see you can edit the texture. And this is super cool because you can alter it slightly and you can also alter the material. Okay, so let's put it into some glossy color first. Or, okay, this one. Okay, so we see, okay, it's not great. Like you see all of these triangles. If I look from this view, you see like there's zero single good surfacing here, but it's a great mock-up for what it is. And now if you grab it and press the rainbow button here, you can edit the texture. Okay, so we click on edit the texture and you will see this volume box. And now you can just grab it and you will break it, yeah? You will eventually break the texture. Don't freak out, like this is normal. We can always go step back. But you will first see how this go and how you can edit and create your own material. And this is great. You have this preservation of the material / texture directly from Viscom. Okay, let's go back. And then here we have properties, type properties. So we have reflective, but let's go to glossy, okay? And you already see it's changing the appearance quite dramatically. You can also drop the material settings and you can control the roughness, you can control the metallic and also the hue shift. So the hue shift is pretty cool and it's only in gloss. You will not find it in the other types, but this gives you this like kind of hue transition from the underground material to the cool reflections. And this is super cool for glass materials. I will show you in a second. So this is super nice. And then you can save it as a material, yeah? And you can create your own prefab. So I will name it like a Viscom texture. Viscom texture. Okay, cool. And you can reuse it, like you can remodel this car in a nicer way. And you can use the texture we just saved. That's pretty cool. That can save you some time. Cool. Do you have any questions about this? Okay, cool. Yeah, so we will move to the next stage. So this was like, I was gradually improving the surfaces. And here you see I already applied the metallic flaky material. And inside the interior, we have more textiles and we have more stitches. So I will show you all of these materials in the material library where we can move. And so I was doing this with my dear colleagues Hunter and Ali, and we created this palette, and it's mostly focused on the exterior, interior, and then we have also some natural materials which you can use for the background, for the surroundings of the car. most of the JPEG images, some of them I created it in Blender, some of them they're from Polyhaven. Polyhaven is cool because it has a free license. So yeah, I recommend using that. And so you'll have this cool library. So as I explained in the new update, let's take this Chrome. Let me unlock the layer. Okay. Okay, so let's say we have this beautiful metallic material. This is perfect for a car exterior. So update itself, when you grab the object and you press the rainbow button, if you remember, the color wheel, it used to be on your right hand or dominant hand, and now it's on your left hand, which is cool because it was always interfering with the objects when you were grabbing it, and now it's on the opposite hand. So it gives you some room to create and adjust it. So as a preset, you will open the color wheel, and of course, when you go down, you change the saturation. So this is how I teach it you. If you want to change the saturation, put down, and if you want to change the hue, just circle around. So for some users, it might be a bit confusing because you wouldn't expect color wheel to be 3D. So you want to emphasize the push-pull effect you have on this color wheel. And the second update you see, we have the red, green, blue coordinates. We have the numbers. So this is great if you already have some swatch. So if the customer, if they are working with some Pantone color, with a color code, they can memorize the numbers or bring an image here, and they can type the numbers manually here. Okay, and then you see the beautiful brush icon. And this is pretty cool because you can swatch all of the colors, you can steal all of the materials. So when you click on the brush, you will see it will pop on your dominant hand, and then you can change it with the joystick. You go left to right, and it will change the brush to the eyedropper. So with the brush, you can paint whatever you want. You just touch it and you use your index finger. Boom, boom. And with the eyedropper, you steal the color. And once you steal the color, this is beautiful. You will have the material here. You can even change the attributes, and you can save it as your own material. So what have I done here? Here you have under the color wheel, you have the save materials or your library. And look, I have around 35 materials here, which I've created. So I have all my metallics colors, I have all my carbons, leather materials, grass, rough plastic, sand, velvety stuff, and other types of nature materials, such as wood and grass and stones. So, and with the metallic materials, as the candy apple, you see it has this kind of flaky situation. So this is how we created it. You just use the noise. If you have Photoshop, you just use the noise effect and you create such a PNG. Okay. And then you just apply it. So let me show you with a kind of a how to recreate this kind of material. If we will go from flat. Okay. So let's say we want to recreate this candy apple. So how would you do that? You would have a standard red flat material. Then you grab it, press the rainbow, and where would you put the texture? Here you have the drop image. So this is nice because in Gravity Sketch, we have a lot of philosophy when you are dropping the image, dropping the 3D file. So users should find this pretty intuitive. So you just grab it and you drop it in the blue box. It will change color to green. Boom, you have it. We see it's here. It looks like white and black noise. Beautiful. So now you can edit it. So you click edit. Again, you will see the box, and then you can just use your dominant hand. So I always teach it as a dominant and non-dominant hand. Sometimes I get confused, like who is right-handed, left-handed. So dominant is the best term we figure out. And then you just rotate. So this one is for rotation. If you want to scale, again, you usually teach scaling like grab object and pull hands apart, yeah? And this is the same principle, okay? So grab, rainbow button, edit texture. You grab the texture, and your opposite non-dominant hand, you press the middle finger, and you pull your hands apart. If you squeeze them, the texture gets tinier. If you move them apart, we see the texture is bigger. And now what we also want to do, we probably want to change it from the flat, and we go straight down to gloss. Okay, we can play with the roughness a bit. We don't want it to be 100% rough because you will get back to the flat material. So we keep it like around the 0. You can go higher with the metallic effect. And you can also apply the hue shift if you want. Okay. We can also try the reflective material. So the difference between the gloss and reflective is that the reflective has a clear coat. It's a tiny little change, but you can get more occlusion from the clear coat. You see, it's reflecting the grayish surrounding we are in. So this is nice touch. Yeah. So you can play with this. You can get your beautiful, perfect materials and create your own library. And the metallic charcoal, it was to use the same technique how to get this. You see the noise map, it's a bit different. It doesn't have so many white specks, more grayish. And then we have a exterior gloss without the speckles. So when you see the material doesn't have a PNG image, it doesn't have a texture. So now we can move to carbon again. This is from FreePick. We have a basic carbon texture. Here we have the main difference is that here we have the clear coat and the reflective material, and this one is the gloss. And I changed the scale of the pattern. And now we have the polarized glass. Okay, I can paint it back to what it was. So if you lose the texture or the material, don't worry. I go back here to my library. And this is my polarized material, and I just paint it. Oh, wait. You can paint with the brush, you can paint the material. Okay. I think this one is what's causing it. I was just doing this, casting a shadow. And beautiful. We didn't have like perfect glass material, but what we figure out, if you want to create glass, grab it, rainbow button, and you want to use the reflective and the clear coat. So the clear coat gives it the like more like glass material. So feel free to save these glasses. You can experiment. You can create more polarized. Maybe you can also bring some like dust and scratches as a texture. And for interior, so we have a very basic few textures here. So you have fabric, knit, and then leather. I think like what's good to know is like it's usually the best to bring white materials because you can always color them. So when you go to color wheel, yeah, this is how we teach the customers. Like, yeah, just try to save yourself some time and just bring white textures because you can then easily change the color here with gravity and create different kinds of letters or fabrics. And then this one, I'm not sure if you're from footwear or industrial or from auto, but this is beautiful. You can also find it in our asset library, but I don't think many people know about it. And this is how you can show it to customer. Oh, wow, this is a cool steering wheel you have, or this is amazing seat. Let's bring stitches to it and give it more life. Okay. So this is illusion. just PNG, so it's transparent from some angles, but you will get the idea, and you can elevate your presentation with this. So you have this double stitch. So you just simply duplicate, you grab and duplicate, and you just create more points, more vertices. Sometimes people get like, oh my God, why is it invisible? I don't see my stitches where they are. So in this case, you are in the edit mode, and when you want to, with your toggle on your dominant hand, with the joystick, switch to right, and then you will see the normals, okay? And then you just rotate the arrows. You can try it. Yeah. So you see, when you rotate the arrows, this is why we have normals, because every line has a normals. So you grab it, edit mode. You try to do a like very wonky line, rotate it and distort it in many directions. And then at some point it will be invisible for you. And then on your dominant hand, joystick, and flick to right. And you will see the arrows, and you rotate the arrows towards yourself, and then you will see the stitches again. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hey, do you have any questions?
I just had a question, Zofia, on the pattern mapping. If you have a real complex kind of UV car body surface, for instance, I mean, we've done this before professionally, but how do you kind of manage applying textures so that you get a nice even approach on a big surface? It's kind of easy on a small one, but on a big one, you know, do you run into problems with that, or have you got a technique?
Yeah, you will need to scale down or up. I mean, if I go back here to my yellow car, you will see that on the discs here, this is a different texture. It's slightly different than the car body because this is much smaller object. You need to scale it. Let me show you. So I use the eyedropper, pick it, and then I paint in the car. You see, it's much bigger and it looks like a bit grainy. So you need to be mindful, like if it's a car body, it's the whole car body, and this is pretty like simple shape, I would say. You probably want to scale a bit down. And if it's a detail, you will probably end up with bigger texture. You will need to scale it up. Otherwise, look, if I pick the color from car, you see how tiny it is? You almost don't see the freckles, the speckles. So
that's right.
This is how, or you will maybe need to, if it's very complex, I can imagine like some Ferrari or something, you will maybe need to you will need to split the material even to do the shut lines. Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. But for instance, here I was like, yeah, let's use the polarized glass on the rear lamps. And I just use the flat material. Usually flat material looks like neon. If you want to do a headlamp, you will just use flat white color or flat yellow, or flat red or pink. And then the polarized material, polarized glass gives it a nice effect, because like if you rotate it around the car, it goes from the green hue to the pinky hue. So it gives a little bit of light to the object. And again, if you can, add the thickness to whatever surface you are doing, because nothing lives without thickening basically in our world. So yeah, it will give it more realism, I would say. Okay. And then last thing for the natural materials. So I've created this one in Blender. And I like to use it also for some customers. If we do some sporty cars, I just duplicate it and it creates this infinite kind of road. This was a procedural material in Blender. So yeah, you can experiment. I can imagine like also some kind of modular textures for footwear or like for industrial, if you want to create kind of a shop-like scene or cool presentation scene. And all of these are from Polyhaven, as I said. So, yeah. Cool. So, this is pretty much about the materials. That was the major update. We are planning to expand them. We are planning to create more for customers and for community. I mean, if you are teaching somebody and you already give them such a library, yeah, I think this is a great help. Because you help them a lot, you will create kind of a ring material library for them. So that's amazing. And another way how you can enhance the presentation, and we didn't talk about it, it's the light. So it didn't change, but just quick reminder. We are in the collab session, so I have the crown, so I'm the queen now. So only I have access to workspace. So you go to blue button, settings, and workspace. And this is how I teach it usually to customers. First, I demo it for them, and then I pass them the crown so they understand like only one person can adjust the whole scene. And we usually in automotive, we just go straight to HDR and we set it. Again, we have some prefabs, the HDR source. We have 4 different helipad, sunset, machine shop, and Rittersbach. Very basic. Again, you can create a folder for your customer or for whoever are you teaching if they need their own personalized HDRs. Just a good reminder, try to not go over 2K in anything, 2K of image, 2K of video, 2K of HDR. The room will not process it in the optimized manner. So just be mindful. And then the gum drop, again, I think most of the people even don't use it, but preset it's mapped as a sphere, but you can create it as a dome, so it has a flat surface. So let me change it on the helipad. That will be more visible. It will take a sec for you to load the helipad, but you will see the materials are greatly affected by the HDR. So you can find very like pinkish, hueish surroundings like sunset. Everything will have a pinkish hue. If you go towards more like middle of the day, you will have a kind of bluish undertones in everything. The same if you have some HDR map with the city, everything will be kind of grayish, bluish. So just be mindful about what works for your presentation. So do you see the helipad?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So here it's more visible. You see when we stretch it down, the gumdrop, we have a sphere. Yeah, and when I stretch it up, we have the dome or the gumdrop. Yeah, and then one thing about the materials, I think you will see it slowly differently than I see. But again, I can take the flashlight and I can manipulate the shadows. So the one thing is like I usually do if the customers, usually I have problem if some people are modeling from the left side and some people are modeling from the right side of the car. So I try to align them on one side, because if the light is coming from, let's say, from my right side, everybody who is on the left will have such dark shadow here, and they will not be able to adjust it. You will have the control as a trainer. So try to arrange everybody to model from the same side, okay? It will make it, yeah, they might be confused, like what's happening. And then also what I tend to do is sometimes I lock it. So the flash, you probably don't see the flash, but you grab it and you press blue button, and this is how you anchor it, okay? And then if you don't want to see it, you just grab and delete. Otherwise, the flash will follow you. And then you can also adjust the shadows. I'm sure you know, but this is also a good way. Like, don't forget to show your students or customers, like, hey, don't forget to switch on the floor shadows. Everything will be more realistic. Okay. So this is, I think, everything about the presentation itself. And now we can go to Viscom integration. So do you guys see the video here? Or it's still uploading for you?
I see it.
You see it here?
Still uploading for me.
Oh,
For me, but I can look on YouTube.
Okay, you can look on YouTube later. So I will do it another way. The problem with the Viscom integration is that it's in the web browser. So nobody will see what you do because the web browser, it's still in the beta functions. So nobody will be able to follow your steps. Like you will be typing viscombot.ai and now drop it here, bring it there. And I tried it once with a 5 people group and it was kind of like nobody got it. So just be aware of it. Probably preload a video or do it on everybody's on the screen, on the Teams. And you are just doing it while you are tethered, because when you are tethered, it will show. So that's one way how to do it. Or if you forget to do all of these steps and you are like, oh my, I need a quick solution, you can do it as such. You go to beta, and now people will not also see it on the screen because I'm not tethered, but I show you how to do it in a half good way, I would say. So you click on the W, and there will be menu. You don't see my menu, but down I will type viscom.ai and you hit the blue check mark, okay? And now you probably haven't realized it till, I don't know, December last year. There is a screenshot button, okay, when you have the web browser open. So you will be screenshotting everything, okay? So, hey guys, this is how my Windows looks like. I'm in the Viscom and I need to log in, okay? Then you click on the login. So I was teaching it like this. I was just showing it. Then you click here, it's a login in your web browser. And since I was logged here many times, it remembers my credentials and I'm logged in. Cool. Now, how it will look? It will look like this, okay? So I already see my project here, everything is here. Now, best way how to do it is that you go to new file here. I will show it also to YouTube. Here you have the button, new file, okay? This is step 1. Step 2, I'm clicking on the new file and it's asking start in the studio or start in the workbench. So this is what I see. Welcome to Viscom. You want to start in the studio. That's easier. I'm clicking start in the studio. Okay, now what I see is asking where to upload. Okay. And you don't want to choose the size. You want to choose upload an image here. So I'm choosing upload an image. What I will see, you will see a box here. It's the same box we have in the import export. You will see a cube, blue cube here. And you want to import your image here, okay? So this is what we are going to do. Going to steal this image from here. And I'm putting it through the cube. And now I see it already. In the Viscom, we are in this step. And you are lazy, you don't want to write in Gravity Sketch. So here, what you will see, here will be a button describe. So you click here, and it will describe your car, object, whatever, okay? It will automate the prompt for you. Okay, so it already did it for me. And then I just keep it on Viscom General, and I generate. Okay, it's generating. Beautiful. We have this orange trouble. Don't forget here, you need to first click on add, and then you need to click X to close the window, okay? So I'm clicking add, then I close the window, And then what I do, you need to okay, screenshot. Then you click here. You are going to download it, okay? Here in the 3 dots. Click on the 3 dots and click, and there's export, okay? Click export. So here is the export, and you click on that. Boom. And this is beautiful. On your left hand, you will see that it will pop. Okay. It will pop in here in downloaded. I'm not sure if you see, but here I have said, here it says downloaded, and I have all my downloaded images. So, and then you can bring it here as PNG. Okay. Sorry, this is a bit chaotic, but this will happen if you will not have the pre-recorded video. You will need to kind of do the storytelling of how to get to the export import. Yeah, any questions?
I have a question in regards to the material swatch. Can you create your own color swatch? Or like to change the colors that you have in the swatch?
By the swatch, you mean that the last 5 colors you used? Because if you look
no,
at mine,
I mean like when you have the disc, you can select disc or swatches, and you have a swatch of colors.
Oh, yeah.
Can you change that?
Yes, I think you can change the type. Oh no, I think this one is as a preset. You will save it as material. You will go here.
Okay.
You see?
So if you wanted to create your palette, you would just do the materials. Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So the swatches will remain, but you will create your own palette. Yeah. And last thing I wanted to show you in the Viscom, like when you can also hit export 3D, and you will see it here in the screenshots I did. Here we have generate 3D, okay? So you can generate 3D, and then you go here in share, and you can download it as a GLB file. Even if I'm not in pro version, I'm in free, you can download it from here as a GLB, and I can show you how. It will also automatically open the window for you. And I'm just clicking on the GLB 1 time, 2nd time, hit the blue check mark, and it will always import in 000 if you navigate here. And this is interesting because the sketch or the PNG was a car in 3/4. The car will be rotated. Okay, it's interesting, and it's not symmetrical. You see, when we look from top view, it's a bit like warped. But yeah, this is like, but for the silhouette, really like quick volume study. This is great. You can then grab it. Blue button. You will probably not be able to subdivide it because there is too many vertex points. Yeah, you will have a prefab reset, like a very quick rough draft.
Luckily, they have a beta that has more detailed models.
So even the detailed ones will not get. I think like the second one I have there in on the template. That was the detailed one. So
Slightly more symmetrical.
Yeah, because it was side view. You have a side view. That's interesting thing. When you have side view, it will be symmetrical. If you have 3/4 image like this, you will not get a good symmetrical 3D base.
Interesting.
Is there any way to export with less points somehow? Less control points or like less divisions?
From Viscom?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. They have only the generate 3D and the more detailed one. So I suppose the detailed one is more dense.
And another question is if would it be possible to grab with the picker certain colors of the exported 3D model, like from this one, for example? Would it be possible to just grab, let's say, the nuance of or just the black?
You can grab the different colors, but it will apply, since this is one mesh, it will apply it to the whole car. So if I go here,
so it's
and
going
I give
like
it,
a texture.
Yeah, it will be like this. It will apply to the whole car. So yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah. So yeah, that's about it.
One question, Zofia. You guys tried any of the other AI image to model generators, and what's your thoughts on those?
I was trying Luma Genie on Discord. I think I got a better result than the Viscom 3D. It was more accurate. Yeah. So that one, and I think my colleagues they tried Tripod 3D. They were saying that's good. Ali and Hunter mentioned that. Tripod 3D. Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. So I would check that. There are also AIs where you can generate the HDR for yourself. Yeah, and then the optic for the 2D.
Zofia, we have a question coming from YouTube. And just a reminder to anyone who's on the call, to please mute yourselves if you're not talking, just picking up a little bit of background noise. So question from YouTube. What are the benefits that you see from generating the 3D from Viscom inside Gravity Sketch? Would you underlay it and sketch on it, or what would your workflow look like?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I would underlay it. I would use it as underlayer for my future creations. And of course, I will not get inspiration for my highlights from Viscom. It's like, no. But if, let's say, if you have a clean silhouette, if you have a clean side sketch or side screenshot, then you can use it as a silhouette guideline, let's say. Because I kind of like how plump it is here. And this is kind of good. So I would just use it with my ribbon tool. Create a new layer. Switch on the mirror. And I would just use it as my guideline for a very rough creation. And then of course I see it from top view that the proportion it's not great, but you can easily adjust it. You can make it wider or whatever. So I would just take the inspiration from the silhouette. That usually give it a very crisp.
Hey, Zofia, one other question from YouTube. So this comes from Gear. I'm doing a GS demo for a client project while using the MetaQuest 3 pass-through. Can I use an HDRI from the physical location to properly light the 3D properly on there? Let me know if you'd like me to repeat that. Oh, looks like Zofia may have actually left the room. Let's just give her 1 minute. Hey everyone, Looks like Zofia just dropped, and unfortunately her internet is a bit unstable. So she likely won't be joining within our time left. But I did want to take this time to thank everyone for joining either in VR for our certified trainers you see here or on YouTube. A few things that I wanted to note before jumping off, again, are the certification program. So a lot of the users that you see in this room are part of our certification program and have advanced to certified trainer, which is our highest level and validates them as just hearing a little bit of background noise. And I think Zofia is actually back on, so I'll give it back to Zofia in a second. But did want to note that if you are interested in our certification program, you can learn more at gravitysketch.com/certifications to find what level is right for you and get the support you need to validate your skills and move from one level to the next. If you are newer to Gravity Sketch, we also have a series of onboarding rooms in-app where you can learn the basics and fundamentals of Gravity Sketch on your own time with guidance from some of our internal Gravity Sketch trainers. These are interactive sessions that help you learn the skills and really get that early education in Gravity Sketch that can help you move on to exploring more industrial workflows like you've seen here. And if you are interested in working with any of the Gravity Sketch trainers you've seen today, you can email contracting@gravitysketch.com. In our last few minutes, it looks like Zofia was able to join us from Screen App, so I'll pass it back to Zofia, but thanks everyone for joining.
Yeah, thank you, Maddie. And this is also a good way. Like if something doesn't go like you planned it, don't stress. And if whatever happens, like Wi-Fi is unstable or your headset is low in energy, just jump on the screen, and I'm confident that you will be able to navigate your students or customers the teaching through the screen. So no big deal. Like have a different software, you have a different tool for this. You can still communicate and collaborate in the room, even if you're working from your desktop. Yeah, Maddie, I think it was pretty cool. We covered a lot. So thank you very much, everybody who joined. I hope you learned something new. I hope you will share it with your friends, customers, and students.
Thank you so much. It was really interesting.
Thank you
so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for the materials.